Welcome back, everyone. My name is Sibahle Malinga, and right now I'm joined by Mr. Ishaaq Jacobs, who is the CISO at Sasol, and he gave quite an interesting, insightful presentation there. CISO, you were talking, Mr. Jacobs, about striking the perfect balance between accountability and cyber education. Welcome, and please just tell us a bit about what you were talking about this afternoon.
Thank you, Siba. The crux of my message really is to challenge our security professionals in terms of the way we look at cyber safety and cyber awareness, and saying how do we bring elements of accountability into that to make sure that we shift the way we look at awareness and training to something slightly different. And that is really based on some of the scary statistics that as much as we are focusing on awareness training, the percentage of successful attacks that's attributed to the human element keeps on growing. And hence, the challenge to everyone, should we relook at this? Is it only about awareness? Or should we be figuring out how do we empower our users and how do we hold them accountable? That was really the essence of it.
So what I found particularly interesting is when you spoke about how no matter how much educated or informed some employees may be, they don't necessarily make the right decisions when it comes to cybersecurity and the risks thereof. What is the reason behind this? Because you think if you know that it's important to wear a seatbelt when driving, you'll definitely put on that belt. But it doesn't always happen. And why is this?
And that's at the crux of the way we look at the challenge, right? How do we create that visibility so that the users can actually visualize and see the impact of what they're doing or what they're not doing right? And hence the examples of relating cybersecurity to physical security. And there was quite a few of these pictures that I showed the audience, and I said, do you think this vehicle is unsafe? Do you think this behavior is unsafe? And it was so easy, unanimous, that people recognize that. How do we ensure that we bring that into the way our people look at cybersecurity?
In the physical world.
Make the physical and the virtual look the same to the end user. That
Well, maybe let's talk a bit about that. And I know you provided three key pillars of how to create and sort of like an accountability pyramid there. Let's talk about it. What are the solutions to this? How do we make employees aware, or more visible of the risks and therefore take the precautionary measures?
so we got to start by asking ourselves, what do we know about our users? And almost every organization that's managing security has got loads of valuable data that we can tap into. The device that the users are using, we've got very clear understanding of the health of the device, the type of software that's loaded on there. Is the operating system the latest? Is the anti-malware the latest? We can use that data. We've got information about whether we've done phishing attempts, has the user successfully passed them or failed them. We know whether the user is downloading some rogue software, whether they're trying to go to unsavory websites. Let's use all of this data, let's bring it in and make it visible. And that's how we can create the visibility to create that relationship and saying, what should you be doing? And I think that that's part of the almost traditional approach that we had. We have all this data and we keep it in the basement, let the security specialists deal with it. And we're saying, free the data, unlock it, use it to create that realization with the end user that my behavior, my use of safe equipment impacts the organization. So, in a simple sentence, it's really about using the data to create the visibility and deriving value.
Let's be a bit practical here. So, how then is this data used? Is it data that is then stored or placed on the systems on the internal systems where the employees would easily be able to see and serve as a constant reminder of what to do and what not to do?
So First of all, in terms of the data, we collected all of this in a single platform where we can then present this as a dashboard, where for each user, all these key data elements, we're trying to translate it into information. And we asked ourselves the question, what can a user do about this? So if your device does not have the latest anti-malware patch, can you do something about it? So is it actionable? And based on the fact that it's actionable data or not, we then position what the status of this is and what action the user can actually take. And this is what we're presenting in our dashboard back to our end users. And to create this kind of constant theme in the organization, we summarize the individual scoring and risk perspective to the line managers and right up to the executives. And we cycle through this monthly process of saying, at an executive level, how's your team doing? And that then channels down into the individual. What am I doing to ensure that my team scores better, the overall organization scores better? And again, it has to be actionable data. Can you do something about a device that's not updated? Yes. Go and talk to the help desk, go and talk to the walk-in center, talk to the IT department. Can I do something about my awareness training that's not complete? Yes. Do the training. And next to the statistic, we provide that links. Click here to improve your score. Click here to log a call with the help desk. So we're really trying to take away the excuse, I don't know what to do, because I'm telling you what to do. So that's really, the important question. Can we turn the data into actionable intelligence? And that's what we're focusing on.
Well, in closing, I'd like you just to also talk about something which is quite important that you made reference of during your presentation. And you actually spoke about the fact that cybersecurity is not necessarily an IT responsibility, but it's a business responsibility. Share more about that.
Absolutely. So I think that's been a message we've been trying to get out there for years. And if you think about almost the approach that maybe still exists in places, people see cybersecurity as something that the cybersecurity team in the basement somewhere needs to deal with. The reality is that if you look at the roles in the organization, there is something that each person really can contribute. If it's at the personal level, ensuring you've got safe equipment, safe behavior. If it's at the business level, as a business owner, ensuring the systems that support your function complies and meets the standard. If it's at the corporate level, the CEO, ensuring that the organization itself is implementing all of these actionable measures to be compliant. So you can see what we are trying to position is that it's not a cybersecurity team, it's not an individual, it's a collective responsibility. Everyone has a role to play. And we can talk about the type of consequences that we've seen all over the media. It's not the cybersecurity department that's impacted, it's the whole organization. And I mean, that's a reality that we've seen enough examples of. So I think with that reality and realization, we're saying, what can you do? What can you do as an individual? And we give you the actionable insights. What can you do as a team lead? And we give you a view of what your team status is. What can you do as a business lead? What is the status of that business and the systems around it? What can you do as the CEO? And that's the message that we're trying to drive, that everyone has a role to play.
Well, there you have it. As you've heard, cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility because I suppose when the cyber breach happens, there's so much at stake. There's the company reputation at stake, and then there are fines up to the millions which a company can to pay. So thank you very much, Mr. Isaac Jacobs, here, who is the CISO at Sasol, talking to us about all things cybersecurity. And this will be the final interview for today, right here at ITWeb Security Summit.